Hey Storm fans, Brian Cook here, and tonight we're going to talk about the Epic Storm. In front of you is what I'm calling the Epic Storm version 10.2. And let's go over the main deck and then we'll move over to the sideboard. So, one of the biggest innovations behind 10.0 was that you had three red sources. You had Badlands, Volcanic Island, Taiga. This is important because of Pulverize paired with Crash. So, having three lands meant a lot because getting Wastelanded meant your Pulverize was still active. But on top of that, we have two green sources between Taiga and Tropical Island. This is because of Veil of Summer, but also our sideboard cards with Carpet of Flowers and Abrupt Decay. And with 10.2, we went down to 13 lands, which is something we've done a lot in the past. Because we really wanted a third Chromox back, but with going down to 13 lands, we didn't want to go back to the Bayou list. Bayou, the Bayou mana base wasn't terrific, but it did have 8 fetch lands and 5 actual lands, which is what I historically like. Well, here we have 7 fetches and then 6 lands because you wanted to keep the 10.0 mana base. Historically, I have liked 8-5, but with Echo of Aeons, it makes a lot of sense to do 7-6 because the games go longer, or if the games go longer, you have more fetchable lands to put in play. And I've had it come up a number of times, and it makes a lot of sense to me. Your opinions can change over time, especially when new cards come out like Echo of Aeon. So I am running 6 lands with 7 fetches. I don't blame anyone if they want to go back to the Bayou mana base. I just personally think this mana base is much better. So we're running 3 copies of Chrome Mox. That is because Snow went from the most popular deck in the format to not as popular. Maybe low tier 1, high tier 2. And the numbers have gone down and the format's sped a little bit up. So Goblins has become popular, Elves, combo decks. We don't want to be slow. So we're adding in the third copy of Chromox back. It's been very good. I like it a lot. And I don't think that we ever really needed 14 lands. It was just we were trying to make our colors work, and with the current configuration, I think our colors work and we're fast, which is exactly what we want. And that's what I have to say about the main deck. In the board, you'll see Echoing Truth. This is over Pulverize. This is mostly because of Zerda and Garuda leaving the format. When they left, the numbers in Mindbreak Trap slowly trickled down to the point where it's way less common now. And if Mindbreak Trap isn't very common, we don't need Pyroblast on the board. If Mindbreak Trap comes back to power, I could easily see Echoing Truth being swapped back out for Pyroblast. But for now, we're going to run Echoing Truth. It also answers things like double Deafening Silence, or double Chalice of the Void, Goblin tokens, all sorts of stuff. In theory, it could be a second copy of Crash. However, I think that with the diversification in permanent base tape between like Deafening Silence, Thalia, all sorts of stuff, Chalice of the Void, like you don't really want to get stuck with double Crash because, I mean, you're just going to end up in situations where you're holding a Crash looking at a Deafening Silence or a Gaddock or Collector Roof or whatever. It's just better to have a piece of, or an answer that can handle all the diverse hate out there. I can't talk right now. But yeah, so that's what Echoing Truth is there to do. Like I said, it could be a second copy of Crash. I don't have anything against that, but I think Echoing Truth is slightly better. And then we have Peer into the Abyss. Alex McKinley wrote a wonderful article for theepicstorm.com. Make sure to check that out. But to summarize some of the points in there, Burning Wish into Infernal Tutor into Ad Nauseam is a 9-mana line. Well, so is Burning Wish into Peer into the Abyss. And on top of that, it can beat a possible Mindbreak Trap by playing out your diamonds and then on the following turn going Burning Wish into Peer. But that's not the main reason we're running it. The best thing about Peer into the Abyss is that it's almost deterministic. And I say almost because nothing in this deck is guaranteed almost, other than a straight Storm 10 Tendrils. But Peer into the Abyss is probably the closest thing that the Epic Storm has to a deterministic win, because drawing 25 cards and only losing half your life, pretty good. This means that you can cast Peer into the Abyss from 2 life against a Delver deck and then kill them. Previously, Empty the Warrens had to race Dreadhorde and Delver. Echo of Aeons could draw them into counter magic. Ad Nauseam might not get there from 12 life. Peer into the Abyss doesn't have to worry about any of that. It just wins. So that's a huge benefit to playing Peer into the Abyss. A downside is that both Echo of Aeons and Pierce draw, which means that they're a little bit weak to Narset, they're a little bit weak to Leovold, where Infernal Tutor and Ad Nauseam dodges that. That said, I think the pros appear outweigh the cons of, Leo Narset. Um, yeah. So this is the Epic Storm version 10.2. I think that's pretty much all I have to say at this point. Keep in mind, if your opponent does have a Mind Break, you can always Burning Wish for the Thoughtseize. That's its primary job here. Yeah, this list has been testing very well. Pretty happy with it. If you have any questions, once again, feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you're feeling supportive or appreciate this content update, make sure to head over to theepicstorm.com/shop. Show your support by getting cool merchandise and card singles.